Good morning, I'm Maddie Jansen, and this is the podcast of 17 News at Sunrise. It's everything you need to know to start your day in about 15 minutes.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning. Right now at 5, we're expecting an announcement today from Governor Newsom about when stay-at-home restrictions can start to be eased across California, how our state is partnering with others, and when you can hear more about the plan. Have you checked your bank account? The first wave of stimulus checks have gone out. Why some Americans will have to wait longer than others to receive their payment, and how to track where your money is. They haven't stopped since this pandemic started, and now a local business is making sure healthcare workers have the gas to get where they need to be to keep doing the jobs protecting us all. This is Tuesday, April 14th, 2020. Good morning. It's 5 a.m. Good to have you with us. I am Maddie Jansen. Alex Fisher will be coming to us live from his house again in a little bit this morning. And Kevin Charette, meantime, in Southwest Bakersfield with a look at that forecast. It was another beautiful spring day yesterday, Kev.
You're exactly right, Maddie. It was a beautiful day yesterday. In fact, our high again was in the 70s. We're going to be on that trend again today, but our high officially was 74 degrees, and that's right at normal for this time of year for Bakersfield. Now, our record temperature was actually set back in 2008 when we hit 94 degrees. So we didn't get close to a record, but we definitely were right on track with where we should be this time of year. And again, we'll be on that track again for today. Let's take a look at our satellite and radar, and you can see here that nothing to show you on this Tuesday morning. We'll look for sunny skies, 57 degrees currently for Bakersfield with an east wind at 6 as we take a look. Right now at the hour-by-hour forecast, and you can see we'll warm up this afternoon right near 77 degrees. We're starting out in those 50s for the mountains, 37 in Tehachapi right now. Southeast wind at 5, and as we take a look at your day, things are looking pretty nice. Lots of sunshine, again starting out cool, but then by the afternoon, by 3 o'clock, we should be right near 60. I'll have much more on your forecast that's coming your way in just a little bit, but for now, we'll send it back over to you, Maddie.
All right. Thanks so much, Kev. The time now is 5:02, and we have the latest numbers on the coronavirus outbreak in Kern County. 50 new cases were announced yesterday, bringing the total to 454. Once again, a record for a number of new cases diagnosed in a single day here in Kern County. Nearly 3,800 people have tested negative so far, and nearly 2,700 people are still waiting for their results. 3 people have died. Here is how those cases break down by age. 21 children have tested positive. 256 are adults 18 to 49. 100 cases are in people between the ages of 50 to 64 and 49 in ages 65 and up. This map shows a rough area of where in Kern County these cases are. The area known as Bakersfield East has 209 cases. There are 156 in the area known as Bakersfield West, 55 in the Valley region, that's the western half of the county, and 14 cases confirmed in the mountains and 11 in the desert community. So far, public health has only broken down positive cases by age range and broad geographical regions, those ones you just saw. But many in our community want a further breakdown by city. 17's Karen Wah tells us why we haven't heard that yet.
Even after surpassing 400 cases, public health still won't break down information by city. In the 5 broad geographical regions they offer, it's often unclear which cities are part of those.
As far as us being able to give an accurate description of our spread and how that compares to other counties, it is still really early on in the process.
Pink, orange, yellow, green, blue. That's the clearest picture we have of where coronavirus cases are in Kern County. While other counties have broken down cases by city, Kern Public Health will not do so, saying it's merely following rules from the California Department of Health.
We take these guidelines seriously. I can't answer why other counties don't choose to follow that.
So we superimposed Public Health's map onto our map. According to our calculations, Bakersfield West and Bakersfield East are regions divided by Highway 99, but they include more than just the city of Bakersfield. In the yellow are 5 zip codes, encompassing Northwest Bakersfield, Southwest Bakersfield, and West Bakersfield, along with Mettler. In the blue are 8 zip codes, which include downtown Bakersfield, East Bakersfield, Southeast Bakersfield, Oildale, Edison, Arvin, Lamont, Weed Patch, Wheeler Ridge, and areas north of Bakersfield.
Of course, we've noticed the way that East has risen, especially after West had been in the lead for so long. There is no pattern that is identifiable at this point where a person is tested positive and where their residence is.
In the pink, what public health calls the Valley region includes Delano, McFarland, Shafter, Wasco, Buttonwillow, Taft, Maricopa, and other cities further west. The green, called Mountain Region, includes Lake Isabella, Kernville, Twin Oaks, Tehachapi, Bear Valley Springs, Stallion Springs, Lebec, and Pine Mountain Club. The orange, or Desert Region, includes California City, Mojave, Rosamond, Edwards Air Force Base, Ridgecrest, Garlock, and Cantil.
If we broke it down to the most finite zip code and gave more identifying information, it is important that our entire community acts as though COVID-19 is spreading and that it is in your own neighborhood.
Karen Hua, 17 News.
Meantime, several clinics and urgent care facilities are testing for the coronavirus. Here's a list. Accelerated Urgent Care on Coffee in Stockdale, all locations of Omni Health and Priority Urgent Care. Clinica Sierra Vista is also offering testing, and local hospitals test patients as well. Clinica Sierra Vista and Dignity Health offer telehealth services, so you can get a checkup from home and find out if you need a test. Meantime, here are the symptoms for the coronavirus. These are very similar to the flu and, of course, seasonal allergies. But for the coronavirus, the most common symptom is a fever, a dry cough, meaning there won't be mucus, fatigue, and difficulty breathing. Less common symptoms include aches and pains, sore throat, runny or stuffy nose, and diarrhea. Remember, you could be sick with the virus for up to 2 weeks before developing symptoms. And keep in mind, flu symptoms are similar, but muscle and joint pain, a runny nose, and a headache are more common for the flu. And a lot of people are suffering allergies right now. Those symptoms include sneezing, coughing, a runny or stuffy nose, and itchy eyes. It's important to note, although you may want to, don't touch your face. It's such a hard habit for us all to break, but it's really important because that is how viruses like COVID-19 and the flu can spread. Again, if you think you have symptoms of coronavirus, before going in, either call your doctor or call one of the locations where they offer testing. And we're starting an interactive feedback poll this morning. It's going to last all day long. We want to know, should individual states act independently of the federal government to reopen their economies? Call or text us at 888-4617. Press 1 if you think yes, they should, and 2 for no. You can also text, tweet, email, or Facebook your comments. Once again, our interactive feedback phone line is 888-4617, and we'll air some of your comments this morning and have the results from the poll coming up later this morning.
It is 5:08 now, and now to an update on that murder and kidnapping that started late Sunday night in Lamont. Now, this all started around 8:30 on Sunday night. Deputies say they arrived at a home on Florence Street in Lamont and found 34-year-old Adriana Rivera had been shot. She was 7 months pregnant. Rivera was transported to Kern Medical, where she died. According to the suspect's family, Javier Vidal, the baby is in the NICU in Madera. According to the family, that is according to the family. Deputies say Vidal had kidnapped his 2-year-old son. An Amber Alert was issued, and later that night, the little boy was found safe. 17 News cameras were captured the gun battle between Vidal and the sheriff's SWAT team. The 36-year-old was pronounced dead at the scene around 4 a.m. yesterday.
Meantime, reports of domestic violence are up in many cities across the country in the face of the coronavirus pandemic. Victims' rights advocates warn that isolation and financial stress caused by the stay-at-home orders would leave families in a vulnerable situation. And that's why it is so important for community members to remain extra vigilant and call and check in on anyone you feel could be in danger. Here are the numbers to call if you are in a dangerous situation and need help. First, always call 911 if it's an emergency. You can also reach out to the Alliance Against Family Violence and Sexual Assault. They have a 24-hour crisis line. That number is 327-1091. The National Domestic Violence Hotline is 1-800-799-SAFE. Currently, the Family Justice Center on Oak Street is closed, but the Alliance Against Family Violence remains open. They are at 1921 19th Street. All of this information can be found on our website, kget.com.
Well, if you thought crime would go down during the stay-at-home order, numbers show that that is not the case. According to KCSO, crime actually went up from February to March. KCSO says assaults, break-ins, and auto theft all increased last month. Homicides also went up. KCSO investigated just 1 in February and 3 in March. Only robbery and larceny check cases were down last month. There was no change in rapes. KCSO investigated 9 in February and another 9 in March.
New overnight, a person is dead after a fire in Oildale. The fire was reported in a mobile home on T Lane around 8:20 last night. When fire crews arrived, the home was engulfed in flames, and there were reports of at least one person trapped inside. Nearly 24 firefighters worked quickly to put out those flames. They then searched the home and found one person who had died. The name of the victim has not been released. County fire arson investigators are trying to determine the cause of this fire.
Now to a standoff with a mother threatening to shoot her children, her 3 young children, this for 4:30 in the afternoon. Deputies say they were called to reports of a family disturbance at a home on South Union Avenue across the street from the county fairgrounds. When deputies arrived, they say that they were told a woman was inside the home and threatening to harm her children, who were described as toddler age. KCSO says the kids and other family members left the home, but the woman remained inside. She eventually surrendered and was taken to Kern Medical to be treated for a self-inflicted cut to her arm. KCSO says the weapon turned out to be a replica firearm. The woman will be booked on child abuse-related charges and resisting arrest. Welcome back. Happening today, healthcare workers can head over to Ramco for free gas. That's happening at the Ramco convenience store on F and 23rd Streets. Owner Rami Batik says it's a way of saying thank you to those on the front lines of the coronavirus pandemic. It's happening from 6 a.m. until noon today at Ramco convenience store. The store will also offer the same deal for healthcare workers on Thursday. After months of delay, BPD should have a new chief very soon. City officials will hold interviews and then rank the 3 candidates for chief of police in closed-door meetings today at City Hall. First, a committee recommended to the City Council by the Bakersfield Police Commission will sit down with the 3 men individually, each of them a lieutenant or higher rank. This afternoon, the committee will deliver its findings back to the Police Commission, which will rank the 3 candidates and deliver its scoring to the city manager. That's Christian Clegg. Clegg, who took the job just a few weeks ago, has said he plans to move quickly once he has that list. Well, a reminder about grab-and-go meals for students. Starting this week, the Kern High School District is stopping meal service on Fridays, and instead, it will give out extra meals on Thursdays. KHSD says it's working to consolidate meal sites. Starting today, the district will stop offering meals at Centennial, East, Highland, Foothill, Liberty, and Ridgeview High Schools. According to spokeswoman Erin Briscoe, these changes are to lessen the burden on school workers and lower the risk of exposing them to the virus. Last week we told you that Optimal Hospice Foundation was asking for help bringing cheer to its patients. And as always, Kern County delivered. More than 50 pictures were given to patients at Optimal Hospice facilities, and we want to show you some of those pictures. Local care facilities are still on lockdown, which means families can't visit their loved ones. So you still have a chance to drop off your art piece. The drawings must be on an 8.5 by 11-inch piece of paper. That's just a regular size piece of paper. You can scan and email your artwork in to cshoemake@optimalcares.com. Well, still to come, businesses are getting creative during the COVID-19 crisis. Where in California you can try out virtual wine tasting. We'll explain coming up after the break. Welcome back. You might want to check your bank account for some extra money. The Internal Revenue Service, also known as the IRS, says it made an initial wave of stimulus payments to millions of Americans on Saturday. But what if you didn't get a payment? 17's Eitan Wallace has more.
This was the message Saturday posted on the official Internal Revenue Service Twitter account. Quote, the IRS has issued its first economic impact payments to bank accounts. More will be coming very soon.
The motion is adopted.
The money is from Congress's $2.2 trillion stimulus package aimed at keeping Americans and the economy afloat during the coronavirus crisis. The IRS says those who make $99,000 or less, receive Social Security, disability, or have no income could see a check up to $1,200 in the coming weeks.
The amount of time it takes for the money to end up in your hands could depend on your chosen method of delivery. For instance, if you use standard mail, it could be a few weeks, if not months, until you see that money. But if you use direct deposit, that cash could end up in your bank account by the end of this week.
On Wednesday, the IRS is set to launch a new tool on its website to help Americans sign up for direct deposit and track when the money will come in. It's called Get My Payment. The free tool will allow taxpayers who filed their tax returns in 2018 or 2019 but did not provide their banking information on their return to submit direct deposit information to ensure they get their payments sooner. Those who want to add bank account information will need to provide the following: their adjusted gross income from their most recent tax return submitted either 2019 or 2018, the refund or amount owed from the latest filed tax return, bank account type, and the account number and routing numbers.
For everyone affected by this virus.
In a phone interview with 17 News last week, Congressman Kevin McCarthy said these checks will help the average American.
We want to keep the economy working and get you back into the workforce as soon as possible.
Now, if you still are unsure whether you will get a check, the IRS has a Q&A section on its website. We have posted a link to that on our site, kget.com. Reporting in Bakersfield, Eitan Wallace, 17 News.
Meantime, thousands of locals have filed for unemployment as this shutdown drags on. County Administrator Ryan Alsop says during the last full week of March, more than 17,000 people filed for unemployment in Kern, Inyo, and Mono counties. He says people filed an average of about 1,000 claims per week. The data for last week will be available very soon. There's a new hotline for business owners trying to get through this pandemic. America's Job Center launched the hotline. It says businesses or business people can call and ask about what free help is available to them. The number is 336-6860. You can also send an email to both of the addresses on your screen. The Job Center also says business owners laying off employees should encourage workers to apply for unemployment benefits. Your time now is 5:28, and still to come this morning on Sunrise, who has the power to reopen the country? The power struggle brewing between the president and governors across the country. That story coming up after the break.